we have a very important concept, that is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. You need to understand these three relations. So with these three relations, so we play throughout the topic. Please listen. First one, reflexive relation. A relation R on a set A is said to be reflexive if for all the elements of the set A, for every element of the set A, for all the elements of the set A comma A belongs to the relation. So this is the definition. For every elements of the set A comma A belongs to the relation. That is called reflexive relation. Let me take few examples. If the set A equals 1, 2, 3, then the relation 1 R1 is equal to, it has 3 elements. For all the elements of the set A, 1, 1, A comma A means 1, 1. If I take 2, 2, 2, 3, 3. For all the elements of the set A comma A belongs to the relation. That means R1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 is a reflexive relation. Then R2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3 is a reflexive relation, because for the element 1, 1, 1 is there, 2, 2 is there, 3, 3 is there. For all the elements of the set A comma A belongs to the set. That means R2 is also a reflexive relation. One more relation, R3, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3 is not reflexive, not reflexive. Why? Because see, for the element 1, 1, 1 is there, 2, 2 is there, 3 also belongs to the set. Because 3 belongs to the set, but 3 comma 3 does not belongs to the relation. 3 comma 3 not in this relation. That's why R3 is not a reflexive relation. Understood? Okay friends. The second relation, symmetric relation. A relation R on a set A is said to be symmetric relation if for all A comma B, for all A comma B belongs to the relation, then B comma A belongs to the relation. A comma B belongs to the relation means B comma A must be there. Then only it is called symmetric relation. For all A comma B belongs to relation. If A comma B belongs to relation, then only you can think of B comma A belongs to relation or not. Please note that. Okay. For example, if the set A equals 1, 2, 3, then the relation R1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 is a symmetric relation, because take 1, 1, revert that, it is there only. B comma A should also be there. Take this, revert it, 2 comma 2 is there. Take this, revert it, it is there. So for all the order pairs A comma B, B comma A is there in the relation. That's why R1 is a symmetric relation. Come to the relation R2, 1, 1. If you revert that, it is there. 1 comma 2, if you revert that, it is there. 2 comma 1. 1 comma 3, 3 comma 1 must be there, it is there. For 3 comma 2, 2 comma 3 should be there, it is there. Even for these, so for all the order pairs A comma B belongs to the relation, B comma A belongs to relation. That's why R2 is also symmetric relation. Let me take the relation R3. 1 comma 2, 2 comma 3, 3 comma 2, 1 comma 3 is not symmetric relation. Not symmetric relation. Because see this, 1 comma 2 belongs to the relation. A comma B belongs to relation means B comma A must be there. See this, 1 comma 2 belongs to R3. But if you revert that, 2 comma 1, does this belongs to relation R3? See this, 2 comma 1 does not belongs to relation. That's why it is not a symmetric relation. Okay. Next, come to transitive relation. Please understand the definition properly. A relation or on a set A is said to be transitive relation if for all A comma B belongs to the relation and B comma C belongs to the relation, then only you can think of A comma C belongs to R or not. See this, A comma B, the second element of the first order pair is equal to first element of the second order pair. These two, A comma B belongs to R and B comma C belongs to R, then A comma C belongs to R. Suppose A comma B belongs to R but B comma C, the second order pair, does not exist, then there is no question of thinking A comma C belongs to the relation or not. So in such case you cannot say it is not a transitive because we don't have a proof. So in that case we conclude it is a transitive. I'll repeat, if A comma B belongs to relation and B comma C belongs to relation B, then A comma C belongs to relation is called transitive relation. Suppose A comma B belongs to relation but the second order pair B comma C does not belongs to relation, then there is no question of thinking about A comma C belongs to the relation or not. So in such case we consider it is a transitive relation. Let me take examples. If the set A equals 1, 2, 3, then the relation R1 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 is a transitive relation because 1 A comma B, if I take 1 comma 1 belongs to relation, that is the first order pair, 1 comma 1 B and B. See, 1 comma 1 means it should start with another 1. So I just repeat it. Why? Because for the set A 1, 2, 2, 3, here you cannot say there are 4 elements because repetition 1, 2, 3 only, because repetition of an element does not count into the number of elements. So it has only 3 elements. Okay, repetition is not allowed, it is meaningless. Okay, even if you take 2, it doesn't affect. So in that sense 1 comma 1, I just take 1 comma 1 again. See, A comma B, this is B, this is B. Now we are left with A comma C, it is there only. So then for this element, repeat the element because 2 comma something should be there. There is no 2 comma something. So I just repeat 2 comma 2 only, like that. 2 comma 2, 2 comma 2. Again 2 comma 2, it is there only. Then 3 comma 3 means repeat it. 3 comma 3 is there only. That's why it is a transitive relation. Come to R2. R2 is 1 comma 1. Along with 1 comma 1, A comma B, B comma C should exist. 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2 you can take. If I select 1 comma 2, then 1 comma 2 it is there. So A comma C belongs to relation. Then along with 1, 1 you can't take 2 comma 1. Here 1, here 2. So B should be equal to B, no? Illi 1 ide, illi 2 ide. So along with 1, 1 you can't take this, you can't take this, only this. So that means 1, 1 got over. Then come to 1 comma 2. Along with 1 comma 2, 1, 1 you can't take. So then 1 comma 2 you can take 2, 1. So B, we are left with 1, 1. It is there. So A comma C belongs to relation. Along with 1 comma 2, 2 comma 2 we can take. This is B, this is also B. So 1 comma 2 it is there. So this got over. Then come to 2 comma 1. Along with 2 comma 1, 1 comma 1 we can select. Here B, this is also B. We are left with 2 comma 1. It is there only. Then along with 2, 1, 1 comma 2 we can take. B, B1. So 2 comma 2. 2 comma 2 it is there. Okay, so this got over. Then come to this one. 2 comma 2, along with 2 2 you can't take 1 1 because here 2 here 1. So B and B, the second element and the first element of the order pair must be same. So along with 2 2 you can't take this, we can take this. So this is 2 2 2 1. So we are left with 2 1, it is there. That means for all the elements A comma C belongs to relation. That means it is a transitive relation. Come to R3, 1 comma 2, along with 1 comma 2, 2 comma 3 we can take. This is B, this is B. See 1 comma 3, see this 1 comma 2 belongs to relation R3 and 2 comma 3 belongs to the relation R3. Does this implies A comma C, that is 1 comma 3 belongs to the relation? See this 1 comma 3 does not belongs to the relation. That's why it is not transitive. It is not transitive. 1 comma 2, 2 comma 3, 1 comma 3 is not there in the relation R3. That's why it is not transitive. Okay, so if any one of the element fails, no need to check for the other elements. Okay, so ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಫೇಲ್ ಆದರೆ ಸಾಕು, that is not transitive relation. Then come to R4, relation 4, 1 comma 2, along with 1 comma 2, 2 comma something should be there. That means 2 comma something is not there. So along with 1 comma 2 you can't take any order pair. That means A comma B is there, B comma C does not belongs to. So that means second order pair illa, second order pair does not belongs to the set antandre. So then there is no question of A comma C belongs to relation. That means so we don't have a proof to disprove R4 is not transitive. So in that sense, in that case we take it is a transitive relation. Since second order pair B comma C does not exist, you cannot say it is not transitive. Similarly 3 comma 2, along with 3 comma 2, 2 comma something should be there. So 2 comma something order pair is not there. Again the second order pair does not belongs to R4. That's why you cannot say it is not transitive. It must be transitive. The fourth one, antisymmetric relation. A relation R on a set A is said to be antisymmetric relation if for all A comma B belongs to R and B comma A belongs to R, then A is equal to B. A is equal to B is called antisymmetric relation. For example, if the set A equals 1 2 3, then the relation R1 1 1 2 2 3 3. 1 1 means A comma B means B comma A should be there. So 1 1 means 1 comma 1, it is there only. Repetition is allowed, you know. So 2 comma 2, repetition is allowed. 3 comma 3, so 3 and 3 are equal. I mean A and B are equal. So it is antisymmetric. Come to this one. 1 comma 2 means 2 comma 1 should be there. So the second order pair 2 comma 1 is not there means you cannot say it is not antisymmetric. It is antisymmetric. Come to R3, 1 comma 2, 2 comma 3, 2 comma 1. So he is not antisymmetric because 1 comma 2, A comma B means B comma A. 1 comma 2 means 2 comma 1 also belongs to the relation R3, but A and B are not equal. 1 and 2 are not equal. A equal to B, then only it is antisymmetric. 1 and 2 are not equal. That's why it is not antisymmetric. Whereas in this and this case, repeat it. So then A and B are equal. That means it is antisymmetric relation. Thank you. Okay. The fifth one, equivalence relation. A relation R on a non-empty set A is said to be an equivalence relation if R satisfies these three relations: reflexive, symmetric, transitive. Let me come to that in detail. Reflexive relation, that means for every element of the set A, for each element of the set A comma A belongs to the relation. Second one, symmetric relation. For every A comma B belongs to the relation, then B comma A must be belongs to relation. Then only it is symmetric. Transitive. If A comma B belongs to relation and B comma C belongs to relation, then A comma C belongs to the relation. For all A, B, C belongs to the set A. If these three satisfies, then the relation R is said to be equivalence relation. This is an important definition. They'll ask in 1 mark also. Define an equivalence relation. Okay. So if any one of these relations fails to hold, then the relation is not said to be an equivalence relation. Let me take an example. If the set A consists of the elements A, B, C, then the relation R1, A comma A, B comma B, C comma C is an equivalence relation. If it is to be equivalence relation, it has to hold good all the three, right? So reflexive, let me check reflexive. A belongs to the set A comma A is there. B belongs to the set A, B comma B is there. C belongs to the set A, C comma C is also there. It is reflexive. It is reflexive. Okay. Come to symmetric. So for all A comma B belongs to R, B comma A belongs to R. See this, take this, reverse this. So it is there only. So it is symmetric. This also, it is symmetric also. So even for transitive, A comma B and B comma C. A comma B means this and this should be same, you know. For along with A comma A, you can't take this, you can't take this. That means along with A comma A, you need to take A comma A only. Then only B and B are same. Then we have A comma C, that is there only for each one. That means it is transitive also. Okay. Then, so R1 is an equivalence relation. Next, come to the relation R3, I mean R2. AA, AB, BA, BB, CC is an equivalence relation. Let me verify. For the reflexive relation, element A should be there. For the element B, BB should be there. For the element C, C comma C should be there. So it is reflexive. Come to symmetric. A comma A, reverse that, it is there only. A comma B, reverse that, B comma A, it is there. Okay. If you reverse this, A comma B, it is there. So B comma B, reverse it, it is there only. C comma C, reverse it, it is there only. So for every A comma B, B comma A is there. That means it is symmetric also. So for transitive relation, along with A comma A, you can take A comma B, right? This is B and B, you know. So now we are left with A comma B. It is there. So A comma C belongs to relation. Along with A comma A, here B. You can't take B comma A. You can't take this. Even you can't take C comma C. So A comma C got over. Then along with A comma B, you can't take A comma A. With A comma B, you can take this. B is there, you know. A comma A. It is there. With A comma B, so you can take this. So this is B means A comma B. It is here only. Along with A comma B, you can't take this. So for every A comma B and B comma C, A comma C satisfies. Then with B comma A, we can take A comma A. So we are left with B comma A, it is there only. With B comma A, you can take A comma B. So we are left with B comma B, it is here. With B comma A, you can't take this, you can't take this. This got over. With B comma B, we can't take this, we can't take this. We can take B comma A. We are left with B comma A. Then along with C comma C, you can't take this, you can't take this, you can't take this, you can't take this also. So this is the only element. The first order pair is there, second order pair does not exist. So that means there is no question of A comma C. So therefore R2 is an equivalence relation. Then inverse of a relation, relation inverse of a relation. As we know, relation R is a subset of A cross B. Let R is a subset of A cross B be a relation from set A to set B. Then inverse of a relation R is denoted by R inverse. R inverse, not R power minus 1. R inverse you should write it as. Okay. So relation R from set A to set B. Inverse of a relation is denoted like this and is defined as a relation from B to A. Here A to B. This is from B to A. So that means if R is equal to set of order pair A comma B such that A belongs to set A and B belongs to the set B is a relation from set A to set B, then R inverse is equal to B comma A such that A belongs to the set A and B belongs to the set B is a relation from set B to set A, set B to set A. Note, if R is an equivalence relation, then R inverse is also an equivalence relation. The second note, if R1 and R2 are two equivalence relations, then intersection of those two, R1 intersection R2 is an equivalence relation, whereas R1 union R2 need not be an equivalence relation. Please note that R1 intersection R2 is an equivalence relation, whereas union of R1 and R2 is not necessarily the equivalence relation. You are going to discuss the problems later, bit later. Then the third one, if A comma B belongs to R, A comma B belongs to R means instead of writing this, we can write this: A related to B. A comma B belongs to the relation is the same as A related to B. See, this is read as A is related to B. We read this as. Note number 4. If the set A and set B are equal, if the set A consists of ABC and the set B also consists of ABC, A is a subset of B and B is a subset of A. Both are right. Fifth one, if A and B are two sets such that A is a subset of B and if A not equal to B, A is called a proper subset of B, or B is called superset of A. Okay, B is called superset of A. So till now we have discussed some basic concept from first year and the different terminologies like reflexive, symmetric, transitive and all. So based on these concepts, we are going to discuss the problems now. The first exercise 1.1. Determine whether each of the following relations are reflexive, symmetric and transitive. And that number A, relation R in the set A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 14 defined as R is equal to the set of order pair x comma y such that 3x minus y is equal to 0. So this question is appeared in the year 2015, annual 2015 for NCERT. So in 3 mark section, given the set A equals 1, 2, 3 up to 14 and the relation R is equal to set of order pair x comma y defined like this, 3x minus y is equal to 0. So now 3x minus y equals 0. Shift y to the other side. So y is equal to 3x. So we can take the x values as 1 to 14. When I select x is equal to 1, y equals 3 into 1 which is 3. When I select x equals 2, y equals 3 into 2, 6. If we select x equals 3, y equals 3 into 3, it is 9. If I select x equals 4, y equals 3 into 4, 12. Therefore, the relation are 1 comma 3, 2 comma 6, 3 comma 9, 4 comma 12. Suppose if I select x is equal to 5, 3 into 5 is 15, but 15 is not there in the set. That means we can't select 5. So that's it. Therefore, this is the elements of the relation for this defined relation. So these are the order pairs. Clearly, R is not reflexive. Not reflexive because the element 1 belongs to the set A, but 1 comma 1 does not belongs to the relation. Does not belongs to the relation. That means it is not reflexive. If it is to be reflexive, A comma A belongs to the relation, then it is not symmetric. Not symmetric because for all 1 comma 3 belongs to the relation. A comma B belongs to the relation means B comma A should be there. But 3 comma 1 does not belongs to the relation. Does not belongs to the relation. That's why it is not symmetric. And it is not transitive because 1 comma 3 belongs to the relation. 1 comma 3 belongs to the relation A comma B and B comma C. Along with 1 comma 3 you can't take this. Let me take 3 comma 1. 3 comma 9 I mean. So 1 comma 3 belongs to relation and 3 comma 9 belongs to the relation. This implies A comma C. That is 1 comma 9. It is not there in the relation. Look at this. So 1 comma 3 belongs to relation and 3 comma 9 belongs to relation, but 1 comma 9 does not belong to relation. That's why it is not transitive. So hence the required relation is not reflexive, not symmetric, not transitive. So it can't be an equivalence relation. The second one, B. Relation R and the set of natural numbers n defined as the relation R is equal to set of order pairs x comma y, set of order pairs x comma y such that y is equal to x plus 5 and x less than 4 they have defined. Given x less than 4 means the set should be the set of natural numbers 1, 2 and 3. Less or equal to means you can include 4, but less than strict inequality you can't take 4, only 1, 2, 3. And the relation R is a set of order pairs x comma y such that y is equal to x plus y, in which x should be less than 4. Now y is equal to x plus 4, they have defined the relation. When I select x is equal to 1, y equals 1 plus 5, 6. When I select x equals 2, y equals 2 plus 5, 7. If I select x equals 3, 3 plus 5, 8. Therefore, the relation is 1 comma 6, 2 comma 7, 3 comma 8. This is the set of order pairs for the defined relation. Clearly, the relation R is not reflexive. If it is to be reflexive, for all the elements of A comma A should belong to relation. See, for example, the set A consists of the set n. 1 belongs to natural number. A belongs to A. This implies A comma A should belongs to the relation, See, 1 comma 1 does not belongs to the relation. That's why it is not reflexive relation. It is not reflexive relation. And it is not a symmetric relation. Symmetric means what? A comma B belongs to R means B comma A should belongs to R. So clearly 1 comma 6. 1 comma 6 belongs to the relation. Does there exist 6 comma 1 belongs to the relation? See, 1 comma 6 is there, but 6 comma 1 is not there. Okay, so that means does not belong to relation. That's why it is not symmetric. Not necessarily 1 comma 6, you can take 2 comma 7 also, because 7 comma 2 is not there. Even 3 comma 8 if you take, 8 comma 3 is also not there. That's why it is not symmetric. Any one of the reason. One example to prove, to disprove, it is enough if you give one example. Okay, so R is transitive. R is transitive. Why? Because, please listen, A comma B belongs to R and B comma C belongs to R. Then A comma C belongs to R. A comma C belongs to R. Then only it is transitive. Look at this. Along with 1 comma 6, 6 comma something should be there. So there is no 6 comma something. So second order pair does not exist. So that means we don't have a proof to disprove it is not transitive. So it is transitive even for these cases also. So that means it is transitive. So the defined relation is only transitive but neither reflexive nor symmetric. To go to the next problem, we need to have some definition which are not mentioned in the NCERT textbook. To understand that problem, I just recall this definition. So divisibility, if A and B be any two integers where A not equal to 0, A not equal to 0, that means B can be 0, but make sure that A not equal to 0. A and B are any two integers and A not equal to 0, then A is said to divide B if B is equal to K times A, provided K must be integer. So the mathematical expression is like this: A divides B implies B is equal to K times the numerator. A divides B means B equals K times A, where A not equal to 0 and K must be integer agirbeku. A divides B means B is equal to K times A. If they have given B equals K times A divides B. This is implies and implied by statement. It is a biconditional statement. That means if A divides B is given, it is understood that B equals K times A. Or else B equals K times A is given, it is understood that A divides B. Let me take few examples to understand this. So 2 divides 4 because there exists, see, B is equal to K times A. 4 is equal to 4 equals K times A means 2. K is equal to 2. 2 is an integer. See, 2 into 2, 4. So that means 2 divides 4 because there exists an integer K is equal to 2. So such that 4 is equal to, that means B equals K times A. So 2 divides 4. Again 2 divides 2 also because there exists an integer K is equal to 1, which is an integer such that B is equal to, andre 2 is equal to K times 2. If I select K equals 1, 1 into 2, 2 only. 2 divides 2. The third one, 2 divides minus 4 because there exists an integer K equals minus 2 belongs to an integer such that minus 4 is equal to K into 2. If I select K as minus 2 into 2 is minus 4, that's why 2 divides minus 4. Whereas 4 divides 2, if 4 has to divide 2 means there exists K is equal to 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2 is not an integer. 1 by 2 is not an integer. So such that 2 equals K times 4. That means 4 does not divides 2. So because K equals 1 by 2 means 1 by 2 into 4 andre 2 agata. But K must be integer agirbeku as per the definition. That means 4 does not divides 2. Now A divides 0 because there exists an integer K is equal to 0 such that B is equal to K times A, 0 equals K into A. If I select K as 0, which is again integer, 0 into a means 0 only. A divides 0, but 0 does not divide a, because in the definition itself they cleared that a should not be 0. Okay, so in general 1 divides a, provided a is an integer. 1 divides a, 1 ಎಲ್ಲ ನಂಬರ್ನು ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. 1 divides 2, 1 divides 5, 1 divides 100. So in general 1 divides a. So because there exists an integer k is a is an integer such that a is equal to k into 1. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ 1 divides a, 1 ಎಲ್ಲ ನಂಬರ್ನು ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂಥರ ಅಜಾತ ಶತ್ರು ಇದ್ದಾಗೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನೋಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ 1, a divides b. a divides b can be read as a is a factor of b, a is a divisor of b, a is a factor of b, a is a divisor of b, or b is multiple of a, b is divisible by a. So a divides b can be read in these 4 manner. All are one and the same, just like synonyms. Now a, this is divides b. If I write like this, a does not divides b. So this can be read as a does not divides b. Few simple properties we need to have. A divides a, 2 divides 2, 4 divides 4, 100 divides 100. Second one, if a divides b means a divides minus b also. 2 divides 4 means 2 divides minus 4 also. I have given in the previous examples. If a divides b and b divides c, then a divides c. This is somewhat similar to transitive property, right? Let me take an example. 2 divides 4 and 4 divides 8. See, 2 divides 8 also, because b is equal to k times a. 8 equals k into 2. If I select k as 4, which is an integer, 4 into 2 is 8 only. That's why 2 divides 8 also. The fourth property, if a divides b and a divides c, then there are 3 cases exist. Number a divides b plus c. Number b, a divides b minus c. A divides b into c also. Okay, please remember these concepts to discuss the next problem.